Okay, welcome to the show in the workshop. Today we're got a makeshift workshop in a garage here, and she's a little cool. We had a storm today. But what we're building this time is a hot dog cart. It's a New York style hot dog cart that you see on the corners and on the sidewalks. And we have a small little trailer. The trailer is 48 by 40 inches. What we did is we got a little bit of a start on it here. So the floor, you can see the floor of the deck of the trailer. And what we did is we made it 6 inches longer, just to give us that little extra. And it's 40 inches wide. Now, from the bottom to the top of your work area of the hot dog cart's 24 inches. Then you can see the bread box, it's framed in, or started to be framed in. It's 16 inches by 40 inches. And it's 16 inches from the front to the back. So what we're going to do now is we have some more bracing to do in the back of the cart. Down at this area here is where the steam table is going to go. So in the area at the back, we have to have a stove will fit in there to heat the steam table, propane stove. On the side of the cart will be a barbecue. In the middle will be a cooler. We have 4 small sinks that we're going to put in. On the front of the cart, there will be an on-demand hot water heater. Inside the cavity of the cart is where our fresh and gray water will be. And we have a lot of work to do yet. We're going to paint it all inside once we get all the bracing done. You can see the small wheels on the cart. Like you could tow this with a bicycle. It'll be, it's not going to be very heavy. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start cutting some, just some bracing and installing that. And then what we'll be doing is we'll be painting it. So anyway, here we go. We'll start cutting some bracing for the front. So what we're using 2x2. We buy a 2x2 by 8 lengths. We're going to cut it off in the front of the cart right here. We need a brace goes across here. We'll need a brace in here in the bread box. We'll need some braces down the side and along the back. We can't put the one along the back until we measure the stove, see how big the stove is. There's a 30-inch cavity that's going to be in there where the stove's going to fit in. Because at the top here, in this area, is where the steam table is going to be. So anyway, we're going to cut some braces and install them. So here's one for the front. We'll put that one right there. That's where that's going to go. So now we need a couple for the side. So what we're going to do is we're going to start, we'll just put a brace here underneath the bread box. Start with. So what we're using is 3.5-inch deck screw. We'll put that down through this 2x2 into the brace. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take some scrap, put here, and then we have something to screw this brace into that way. So what we do is we measured our distance from the front to the brace. Now we're going to measure it down here, 15 inches, and then we'll put a block in to screw to. Now what this gives us, we can screw into this now. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on this side. Okay, so what we're doing is we're putting this brace on the bottom. It'll be like the floor of the bread box. There you go. Back here, we got 37.5 inches inside. So what goes down in here is the stove. Up top, right here, will be a steam table. So this stove, this table, this steam pan will set down on top of the stove. The controls will be out here, and we'll heat the water, and that'll give you a steam table. So what we have to do is we have to center the stove. Now the stove, we're going to allow 30 inches in here to put the stove. So we're looking at 37.5. Okay, so what we're looking for, 18 3/4 will be half the distance. So now, what we have to do is we want 30. So what we've done, measured, this is our center for our stove here. So in between that should be 30 inches, which it is exactly. So what we'll do is we'll run a brace here and a brace there. The braces are 24 inches, our uprights, so that's what we're going to cut in here. We need 2, so we'll cut another one at 24 inches. Okay, we have to measure the distance. We have to put a little block in down there. So what we're looking at is 2 1/4 inches. So we'll cut a block 2 1/4 inches. What we'll do, we'll just toenail one here. Go. Okay, so there's our bracing in the back. Our blocks are in. We're going to be measuring from here back here, and this is going to be put in, but we have to measure our pan that's going to fit in there. This is going to be cut in, stainless steel on top. Then the pan will set here. There'll be a hole cut in the stainless steel. The pan will be down inside. Down here, what we'll be doing is making, find out the distance of the pan from the top to the bottom. Then we'll allow the stove. The stove will be probably 4 inches. So we'll probably be putting that about right there. With the distance of the pan and the height of the stove, 4 inches, we're looking about probably 8 inches, 9 inches. So we'll build a box in here that'll house the stove and the pan on top. Back in this area on the cart, right here, this is going to be a cooler. A cooler will be set down inside here, just the top lid where we'll open the lid and get pop or hot dogs that we're keeping cold or whatever we need to keep cool. This here will be the bread box in here. Down in this area, like I say, this will be where our fresh and gray water will be. Under here will be storage. Maybe the battery might set back in here. That'll run the water pump. There'll be an umbrella. We'll run an umbrella down in this corner, so we'll have a piece of conduit pipe that the umbrella will set down in. But other than that, she's coming right along. We got another brace to put in the front of the trailer, or the front of the cart. Maybe we'll do that right now. Just take a look what we got done. We just installed the bracing in the front. You can see it in the middle of the cart in the front. We installed the bracing in the bread box. Also, we have the bracing on the side, this side, one on this side, and we did the back. So what we got to do now is we got to figure out our pan size, how big our pans are going to be, and put a brace across the front. So I just measured our stove. Our stove's 15 inches, 16 inches say, to give it lots of room. So what we're going to do is we're going to add an inch to it, and we'll make that brace across the top 17 inches from the front of the cart. We're going to mark 17 inches here. So now we're working from the distance from here to here. I think that's a little too far. What we'll do is, I was going from the inside here. We're going to go from the outside. So we'll put a mark here, 17 inches. We'll go to this side. Work back here, 17 inches here. Okay, so the distance here is 37¼ I think. Yep, 37¼ I'm gonna go over to the saw. We're gonna cut some 37¼ We need 2 of them. Okay, we got our brace cut. We're going to install it now. One side, then we'll go to the other side. That side in. Now we're just going to measure it, make sure she's on the money. 17, yep. And 17, perfect. Now what we got to do is we got to run one in the bottom of the cart down here. So same thing again. We're going to measure here to here, and we're going to get our 17 inches, which is right there. And we're going to put a screw in there. That. This will make do. Now what we're going to have to do is run a brace from the top to the bottom. So what we're doing here is this has got to be, this has got to end up to be a box. So what I'm going to do, because I need this as a nailer, this piece right here, because in back here is going to be that cement board type of thing, because you're going to have heat here. We don't want to catch the card on fire. So this is going to be that cement board, plus it's going to have tin on the front here where the fire is. So what we don't want to put our brace underneath these two here. We want to put a brace here, so then we have a nailer to nail our plywood to. So just put this in here. Okay, we're going to go over here and we're going to screw this one in. So what I just did, I just cut a couple of pieces. What we're going to do is we're going to run them here. We'll run it like this. And then we have something to fasten that brace to. Okay, so we got our box started. We'll call it our stove box, where our stove's gonna go. So now, I think what we'll do is we're gonna cut braces that'll go from here to here. So it'll be out 2 1/4 inches from our outside plate, and we'll go from here to here, and then the same on the other side. Let's get a measuring tape and measure this.